Episode 1 of Digimon Ghost Game landed yesterday, and I'm going to talk about it. I did the recording, I couldn't edit it last night because I got tired and I went to bed after the Mission Yozakura review. But let's crack down to the intro and I'll do the rest of it of my past self from yesterday. This is the intro for the pre-intro part. So we're doing this and everything like that. So yeah, don't forget you can check out my Patreon, that is appearing on screen, and you can also find that down in the video description down below as well. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, press the bell. But without further ado, let's crack down to the intro and then let's talk about Digimon Ghost Game Episode 1. Shall we? Okay, so this is episode 1 for Digimon Ghost Game. Now, this is just my first thoughts on seeing if I want to continue doing these episode reviews, because obviously with Digimon Adventure, it was in somewhat a reboot and a little bit more nostalgic in a way, so I wanted to do those full-heartedly because of the nostalgia factor of my side of growing up with the original series. But this one is a brand new series of Digimon that I could just watch weekly and not review it and just enjoy it for what it is. But I could also continue on reviewing it for you guys when I can. So, best way to sum this up is, it's an interesting take on Digimon so far. It has a bit of the Apply Monsters, Appmon feel, bit of Tamers in it, and some Hunters as well. So it's got three type of genres mixed in. Definitely the Gammamon. Gammamon is definitely giving me a Geomon type feeling. He very gives me that vibe of a very lovable, very cute feeling that Geomon gave me in Tamers, and that's what I loved about him. But let's get on to the episode recap. So it opens up in the city. I can't remember the city's name because it probably briefed up there, but we open up and we learn about Hero, one of the main three Digidestins, or chosen children in this case, in the series so far. So that's another thing that's giving me the Tamers vibe as well. We're getting three main chosen children at the start, similar to how we got Takado, Henry, and Rika in Tamers. So it opens up with about this rumor going about this legend called the Sewn Lip Man. At this time, obviously when we see it, the audience sees this Sewn Lip Man, we instantly know that it is a Clockmon. And we know that this Clockmon is stealing the data or the youth and time of people. So Hero's friends got attacked after he investigated the area of their school where it was attacked at the same time. And this is when we get flashback to Hero seeing the police car just before this event, and then seeing that his dad suddenly vanished, and just left behind was a Digimon fitness brace. As in the Digimon, the new Bandai Digimon Fitbits that they released recently. They're using those as the Digivices for this series. So I had a feeling they were going to be straight up going to be using those as the Digivices. That I had a strong connection, because they wouldn't make a Digivice style gimmick type watch type thing that isn't going to be used in a series. I had a feeling it's going to be used in a series or some way for cross promotion, for promotional sake, for advertisement, like every Digimon series did with the Digivices and the toys and everything like that. But the fitness brace is definitely being that in this case with Gammamon and the other three, and Jellymon and the other one. I don't know the other one's name and everything, and stuff. So we get introduced to her at the beginning, one of the three main chosen children, and she helps starting to follow-ups and everything. Names of these characters are going to take a while for me to get used to, for me to remember as well at the same time, hence why I'm not really giving character names. Mainly, I remember the main character, Hero, and Gamamon, because they are the Digimon and Digipartner. And in some cases with Savers, this is also another series that has a no-goggle protagonist, no goggle wearer, just like Savers, so this is going to be the second protagonist where the protagonist doesn't wear goggles. What I'm fine with, I've always liked the idea that not every main hero protagonist needs to wear goggles in a Digimon series. So I'm fine with that. So yeah, so once Gamamon gets introduced, we get to suddenly see a black Tailmon or a version of a black Tailmon wearing a hoodie and a hat. Because when you look at it, it's a type of black Tailmon, a very type of black Tailmon, because it has all the characteristics of a black Tailmon, but it's wearing a hoodie and wearing a baseball cap and everything like that. So it's got those vibes as well, and I'm really keening on those, and I'm really awesome those up as well. So yeah, so the mystery aspect's there, and I love, in some ways I'm enjoying that aspect so much, because I really enjoyed Tamers for the most part. I really did enjoy Tamers. It was one of my favourite seasons back when I was a kid. It became one of my seasons even more once I watched it subbed and uncut as well, so it became even more of my favourite season at the same time. And everything, and Ghost Game having those type of vibes definitely giving me those hints, because I love how they affect how the digital world is a way similar to the Quartz world that Hunter's introduced. Similar, because somehow his dad, Hero's dad, ended up in the digital world and is talking about the digital world, and he's exploring the digital world as well. So we've got a similar thing, so we've got aspects of Savers in there as well, with Masaru's dad vanishing in the digital world in Savers. So we've got somewhat of a similar instance here as well with Hero. So there is some hardness backs to some previous Digimon series here. We've got the gimmicks with like Atmon by just using those like little memory cards, probably being used for boosts up and everything like that. The digital space or the digital world is suddenly appearing as well as kind of interesting as well. And I love how the fitness brace is being used as well to virtualize or bring forth the Digimon in a bit more stronger way, and everything like that. And it's just been one of those strangest things and curious type of stories that really bring out the adventure in this as well. I'm very curious, because next week we're going to be seeing a Digimon that we haven't seen for a while, and that is a Mummymon. We haven't seen a Mummymon. I can't remember the last time we got even a cameo appearance of a Mummymon at all in a Digimon series. I can't remember. I think it would have been around Frontier we probably saw a glimpse of a Mummymon. But if you want a proper main last appearance of a Mummymon properly, it would have been Adventure 02. Where he was one of the main villains, and it's curious that we're going to be seeing a lot of these. It was nice to see Clockmon. I don't think we actually had a Clockmon appear in a series before. I could be wrong, but Mummymon, for instance, definitely I'm very certain was his last and only appearance was in Adventure 2. There might have been brief cameo appearances in Frontier, because Frontier had a lot of Easter eggs and cameos of previous Digimon that we knew from past seasons in there as well. But at this point in time, I very am certain that it was his final appearance in 02. So that's another thing that I'm interested in as well, is how these Digimon are affecting this real world, because this city and this world, this human world, this Earth is a modernized, futuristic world where holograms are like very populated and is very modern and very used in everything from supermarkets to billboard signs to everything. But other than that, the first episode was a definitely interesting concept. A lot of things harken me and remind me a lot of past seasons. Definitely with the concepts of Gamamon remind me of somewhat like Guillemon in some ways, of like food, hunger, and everything, and be looked after. But unlike Guillemon acting like a pet, Gamamon is more like a little brother, because even Hiro's dad actually introduced Gamamon as his little brother. So that's another interesting quirk as well. But this definitely is an interesting series. I love the different aspects, because I'm one of the few people that probably did enjoy Hunters a little bit, but not as much as I thought I would. But having elements from like story plot lines like of Mazaru's, of Savers and Tamers and Atmon and whatnot, because Atmon I think is going to be affecting the apps and everything on the vital fitness brace. But other than that, that's pretty much it for my review for the Digimon Ghost game. I really did enjoy what I've seen so far. Intro and outro were kind of okay. They are generic, standard, modern intros and outros for animes this time around, but it definitely seems to be they are definitely interesting intros. But I definitely like where this series has so far started, because I'm very more curious about the mystery behind that, because I have a strong feeling we are going to end up in the digital world at some point, similar way that we did with Tamers, because definitely how Hiro's father is in the digital world and suddenly appeared, that suddenly went there at some point because he's an inventor and he tinkered with something at his house while Hiro was making breakfast, and then we got him vanishing and a lot of his stuff got cut in half in the area where he was, and he suddenly went to the digital world. That's how I figured it, and that's how the flashback somewhat done. So there is somewhat of fitness, of story-based elements here that I'm very curious how it's going to play out. It's not a very good, strong first episode. It hasn't gripped me, but I think it's one of those series where the more I watch, the more I'm going to love these characters or hate these characters or loathe the series a little bit more as well, because this might end up being like an Atmon situation where I started watching Atmon and I even done a review of the first episode or 2 episodes, and then I actually dropped the series because I got bored of it and it didn't really feel like my type of show. Unlike Cross Wars and Hunters, felt more like my show, and I really did enjoy those. Ghost game definitely has that vibes where it's got me there. It's got me hooked. Got me wanting to keep watching. Wants me to keep on seeing where it goes. But if it gets me to a point where I got to say episode 10 or anything and the story hasn't gone anywhere, then I won't be continuing watching it. But there's the story here, the mystery in this thing is definitely there. There is definitely something here for Ghost game, and I'm very curious of how that is going to play out in this sense of Digimon, because there's a lot of elements that I liked, a lot of things I didn't like in this, but I'm really curious where it's going. So comment down below what you liked and didn't like about this first episode of Digimon Ghost game down in the comment section down below, and let me know what you think, because I'm very curious as well what you guys think. But other than that I'll say next time. Bye for now. See ya. So Digimon Ghost Game Episode 1, what did you think about it? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Comment down below for me, down in the comment sections, down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about it, because it's very interesting to hear other people's theories and thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with some of my opinions about how some of it's similar to past Digimon series? Is it nice that in the second episode we're going to get to see Mummymon again in action? Because Mummymon was one of my favourite evil Digimon in the original series, and it's nice to see him again in this take as well. But like always, you can comment down below what you think or liked about this series down in the comment sections down below. below, and also don't forget to check out my affiliate links also down in the video description down below as well. And don't forget you can check out my Patreon as well, it's appearing on screen as well. And if you're a returning subscriber, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, it really helps with the algorithm as well. And also, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And don't forget to hit the bell and then press all to keep notified for all my future videos or for the foreseeable future. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya.